Hey, my name is Nicholas. I am 30 years old, and I originated from Marlton, New Jersey, in zip code 08053. Tell me a little bit about myself. Big railroad buff, love barbecuing, low and slow. Um, like a lot of traveling all over the U.S. and Canada and all over the world. What are my favorite hobbies? As I mentioned, barbecue and railroad equipment, any 1472-day inspections, which is you basically take apart a steam locomotive after 1472 operating days or 15 years, whichever comes first. Why I selected to be a big fan of literary gladiators? Well, ever since some of my classmates who I was very closely friends and acquaintances with, ever since I saw their YouTube channel, I wanted to actually help them out in some of my ideas for new book hauls and book reviews. One of the books that I actually remembered was it actually called one of my favorite books was actually called Making the Run to Mount Union, which is actually a book by, or a similar book story to, the name is Frank Kuiper. He is a historian, a co-producer for Green Frog Video Productions, which is a railroad hotspot for photography, videography of the Class 1 railroads and their fallen flags. But it also tells you why the railroads were actually using narrow gauge, which is 3 feet apart, compared to the standard gauge, which is the 4 feet 8 1/2 inches apart. They also talk about rolling stock, locomotives, history, and everything else. If there would be one thing I could make improvements on, oh wow, that's a tough question. Have better intuition, other knowledge. I have a lot of knowledge in military history, hazardous materials, and tell me something about myself that most people do not know. I do know how to speak a little bit of Korean and Arabic, and also, ever since when I was in second grade, there was one thing I learned that most people would not even recognize, and that is how to read Morse code. And Morse code, to me, was a very big part of my personality, because sometimes you got to keep everything lock and key. Like the Coast Guard, Navy SEALs, they do Morse code. Telegraphs use Morse code to dispatch whether the trains would be arriving on the next track, single track main line. And my interest in the history of train wrecks from all the way back from the 1830s on until the 1990s and everything else in between. So I think what my biggest traits are my knowledge and my compassion for courage, to stand up for somebody and sacrificing my wants for others' needs. And that's a big part of me, because I try to sacrifice stuff that other people's need that I'm wanting. I would sacrifice them because they need them more than I do. So I try to be generous with the public on that issue. So that's it, and hopefully I will see you all hopefully in the summer with some barbecue videos, and hopefully it'll be done low and slow. Signing out, 1042, which is signing off.